trust what I cannot see. So mother will tuck me in to this confidence bury me. Break down the walls, show me your heart. This is the place where I fall apart. You told me of a place to call home, someplace where I I'll brace myself for all this pain, erase myself and start again. Grab a hold of me and throw me in the deep end. Show me the flame that burns inside of me, and I'll brace myself for all this pain, erase myself and start again, and I'll face myself with honesty, erase myself and start again. Yeah, yeah. I can hear you, but I won't. Some look for trouble, while others don't. There's 1,000 reasons I should go about my day and ignore your whispers, which I wish would go away. You're not a voice, you're just a ringing in my ear. And if I heard you, which I don't, I'm spoken for, I fear. Everyone I've ever loved is here within these walls. I'm sorry, secret siren, but I'm blocking out your calls. I've had my adventure, and I don't need something new. I'm afraid of what I'm risking if I follow you into the unknown. Into the unknown. Into the unknown. What do you want? 'Cause you've been keeping me awake. Are you here to distract me so I make a big mistake? Or are you someone out there who's a little bit like me? Who knows deep down I'm not where I'm meant to be? Every day's a little harder as I feel my power grow. Don't you know there's part of me that longs to go into the unknown, into the unknown, into the unknown. Whoa, are you out there? Do you know me? Can you feel me? Can you show me? Whoa. going, don't leave me alone. How do I follow you into the unknown? Thank you. Well, good evening, folks, or good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Quincy Kane here, and this is live stream number 188. And it is game night, baby. Game night and music. Going to be playing a few jams for you, and we're going to have some friendly competition. This is the S-tier game, which is a very fun game. Anyone can play, and it's never too late to hop in. Even if you come in at the last moment, you can still come back and win the whole thing. So that's kind of the great thing about it. Anyone can play. It's a lot of fun. Let's catch up with the chat, and then we'll get the game going here. Jack, I appreciate you tuning in, even just for the little bit that you did. Sorry I was late to reply to you. So it's a long story. I'm not going to get into all the technical difficulties and details, but basically my operating system is out of date and my browser is out of date. And I have a feeling it's starting to have some impact. I refreshed the page, and for some reason, the chat wasn't showing up. So even though I was live and my stream was working, it wasn't showing me the chat window. And there was no way for me to communicate with you guys. So I was kind of scrambling to figure out how to get it back up. And finally, I got it. So I was a little late to communicating through the chat. But we're up and running right now. Silas, good to have you. Becky, always good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Let me know, how has your week been? Anything fun or eventful happened lately? Anything coming up that you're excited about? Let me know how things are going. We've got some hellos in the chat. Becky saying, if I suddenly disappear, the Wi-Fi probably dropped out because of rainstorms. So it sounds like you've got some stormy weather your way. I do hope it doesn't interfere, but I appreciate you tuning in. Becky, you've got a few wins under your belt, if I understand correctly. Let's see here. I've got records. Silas has got 3. He's tied with Daniel for the most wins. But Becky, you're not far behind. You've got 2 wins. If you win tonight, you'll be in the top 3 with Daniel and Silas. Seems to happen on game night. Yeah, I guess that's how it makes it dramatic. I guess it's got to be stormy weather if it's going to be game night. Got a thumbs up from Silas. I'm good. How about you? Almost at livestream 200. I was kind of thinking about that myself. We're at 188, getting close to 200. I don't have any plans to do anything special. I mean, if you guys have any ideas of what might be kind of cool, I think we did kind of a little special for stream 100, but I don't have anything particularly planned. But if you guys have some ideas, if there's something you'd like to see, maybe we can make it happen. I'm not sure. Probably not going to do anything too big, but if it's something fairly simple and just like a little something different just to kind of celebrate 200 streams, then, maybe we'll make it happen. Let's see here. Silas dealing with a little bit of sore throat, but I'm feeling better than I did when I woke up this morning. That's good. All I can suggest is drink a lot of water, get a lot of vitamin C, eat you a lot of fruits, and if you've got any vitamin C supplements, anyone familiar with Emergen-C? It's like a powdery vitamin C supplement. That stuff's great. I'll spell it Emergen-C. I think it's spelled like that, Emergen-C or something like that. It's these powdered packets. You just mix it with water. They've got different fruit flavors, but it's a vitamin C supplement. That stuff's really helpful when you're dealing with sore throat. Sore throat, let's see. Warm stuff can help if you gurgle warm water, or ideally warm salt water. If you gurgle it and then spit it out, that can kind of help relieve some sore throat. Make sure you get plenty of sleep. But yeah, I hate being sick, so I hope you feel better soon, man. Take care of yourself. Hopefully some fun, friendly competition. You can kind of relax and enjoy the stream, but definitely don't stress yourself out. Becky saying, you've been sick, doing a lot of band practice. I gotcha, yeah. And then, pressure from Becky, yep. Yeah, it could be sore throat from singing. Hopefully that's not the case. I took it as a little bit of sickness, but it could be singing. You definitely don't want to be singing too much that you hurt your throat. If you're ever hurting your throat while singing, stop singing. Rest your voice. You're done for the day. Take a day off and then let your voice recover. I think, yeah, Jack's saying, no worries, my dude. You're too good a guy for me to presume any ill intent. Well, I appreciate that, Jack. Hey, we got Leo. Leo, good to see you. Hope you've been doing well. Let me know how you've been, man. Let me know if the past couple weeks have been good. Anything fun or eventful happened lately? Or is there anything exciting that you're looking forward to? Any goals that you have that you're working towards? I can't remember if you shared with the chat. I don't want to speak for you, Leo, so feel free to share if you want. I know you have some specific goals you were working to, and I don't know if those were goals you wanted to kind of keep to yourself or if you wanted to share, but I think you've been, last I heard, I thought you were doing a great job with it, and I hope you're continuing to put in the practice because I'm sure you'll continue to get better, but I won't jab too much at that right now. Jack's saying, I'm okay, Becky, a bit stressed out. Fortunately, niece's boyfriend is a really nice guy. I've been playing host to them since Sunday. I remember you saying that. I remember you saying they needed a place to stay. I think you were talking about that last week. And hopefully that's been going well. I'm sure it can be a little stressful, but all I can say is just try your best to make the most enjoyment out of it. Try not to overburden yourself, or try not to make a mountain out of an anthill, I think is the expression and stuff. I'm sure there are things to be taken care of, but just try to relax and trust that they're all going to fall into place. It's all going to play out fine. I'll definitely be sending a few prayers your way and hoping things play out smoothly for you. Silas saying, I've got a cross-country race on Saturday, and then I'm going to Six Flags after. Sounds like a good day. Well, I hope... How do the cross-country races go? Is there a single winner? Have you ever won one of those? Do you run with a team, or do you run as an individual? You might have to give me a little information about how cross-country works. But I hope they go good. I hope you have a good event on Saturday, and then going to Six Flags. That sounds a lot of fun. I've never been to Six Flags, but I love theme parks. I want to, at some point, go to more theme parks. I'd love to. It'll probably be at some point when I have, like, a girlfriend, or I don't know if I'd go with a girlfriend, maybe a girlfriend, but definitely my wife. It'd be fun to just travel around and go to different theme parks, and Six Flags would definitely be on that list. Jack, you're really kind to do that. I'm doing well, thank you. I hope they're helping with cooking and stuff. Yep, hopefully they're contributing since you're hosting and doing what they can to make it a little easier on you. Hey, we got Fab in the chat. Happy Thursday. Won't play your games, but everyone is having a good time. Well, Fab, always know that you're welcome to compete if you'd like to, but... Yeah, Becky kind of taunting you why you're not playing because you're scared. Becky is one of the quite the contender. She's 1-2, and not far off from being in the top 3. Let's see here. On Sunday, I'm going to see Switchfoot. That's cool. So, man, Silas, you've got quite the weekend. You've got the track event. You've got a day at the theme park, and then you're going to see Switchfoot. You are living the party. You are living the dream. That sounds like a good weekend, man. Sounds fun. Anyone else going to any upcoming shows or theme parks or events or anything like that? Let me know if there's anything else. Fab admitting, terrified, Y'all scare the heck out of me. Yep. Hey, we got Bipool's music in the chat. Appreciate you tuning in. We're going to get this game started in just a moment here, but let me know how your week's been. Anything fun or eventful happen? Anything exciting coming up that you're looking forward to? And do you want me to call you by your username, or is there a certain name you'd like me to call you by? I can actually make a name for you so that I can get you in the competition here. We're gonna bring it up. We're playing the tier list game, so give me just a moment and I'll get all that brought up. I'm going to explain the rules, and then we will get going. 1 second. I need to... What am I looking for? Yeah, whenever someone joins, I try to get their name because I need to use it for the tier list. Basically, everyone starts at the bottom of the tier list in F tier, and then we work our way up to the top. So I can get a name made for you, and that way you can be in on the competition. It's a lot of fun. All right, cool. Well, I think we've got a few people. If anyone else is just tuning in, don't be shy. Say hello. And I think we've got enough people to get this game going. So let me bring up the tier list. Where is it at? Here we go. Bam. So there is the tier list. I'll explain the rules in just a moment, but let's get our competitors in here. Here we go. So we've got Becky, so we'll bring Becky up. And Jack, I know you said you probably weren't going to stick around, but I'll go ahead and get you in just in case you can play a couple rounds. But if you have to get going, I certainly understand. Fab said he wasn't going to play, but sometimes he surprises us. Sometimes he says he's not going to play, and then he'll spit out an answer because he knows it. So I'll throw in Fab just in case you have a change of heart. Let's see, we've got Silas. Let's get Silas in there. And if anyone else is out there, let me know. I've got a few names already up, but I can add some names. Again, I saw Bipool's music, and I can either just put Bipool as your username, or if there's your real name, if you'd like to give that, just let me know. Let's see here. Fab saying I only attend one show a year. It's the Saturday before Halloween. I'm starting to grow a handlebar mustache for the costume. Now, are you keeping the costume a surprise, or you want to let us know what you're going to be? I'm trying to think handlebar mustache. To be honest, the first thing that comes to mind is that character from, which is funny because I've only seen the movie once, but from Toy Story 4. I know Keanu Reeves does the voice. It's the stunt driver. Like, it's almost like an Evel Knievel kind of character. That's the first handlebar mustache. Unless you've got blonde, maybe it could be Hulk Hogan, maybe. Trying to think who else. Or Sam Elliott. Well, he's got a mustache. I don't know if it's really a handlebar mustache. I'm not sure. So I don't know if you want to share it yet, or if you want to keep it a surprise till October comes. But that sounds pretty fun. And I love Halloween. I love Halloween events. So that sounds like it's going to be a fun time. In cross country, you have around 40 athletes race on a trail that could have hills or dirt or something else. Gotcha. Let's see here. All right, cool. Nice guess. Try again. Anyone else? Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look up handlebar mustache characters. Characters with handlebar mustaches. Let's see what we get here. I don't know if it's from... That's not... I mean, I wouldn't consider that a handlebar mustache, but there's Wyatt Earp from Tombstone. There's... What's-his-face from Dodgeball? Ben Stiller's character. Drawing a blank on his name right now. He's kind of got a little bit of a handlebar mustache. You're not going as... I'm not sure. Can't say I know, but I'm looking forward to it. If you end up posting pictures anywhere, let me know. And you do have a winner, but they give medals to the top 10, I believe. I gotcha. Yeah, Becky was saying the same thing. And both Sam Elliott is from Tombstone and Kurt Russell's character. That's who I meant, who played Wyatt Earp. But I would say Sam Elliott has more of a handlebar mustache than Kurt Russell did. He just had a big mustache. Cesar Romero, could be. I will spare you. It's Sorrow. Oh, Zorro, I think you meant. Yeah, I was like, Sorrow. I was like, I'm not familiar with that. Zorro. That's pretty cool. Is it really a handlebar mustache? Let me see real quick. Zorro. I mean, I just figured it was a regular mustache, because handlebar, it's got to come over and down, right? It's a really big, thick mustache. But either way, Zorro is a great character. Definitely a good Halloween one to be. All right. Well, I think we're going to get our competition going. Again, if anyone's just tuning in, don't be shy. Say hello. And I'll get you in on this competition here. I'm going to go ahead and explain the rules. So we're not starting just yet, so you still have time to get in on this. And even if we've already started, you can still join in. That's the great thing about this, is anyone can come in at any moment and still have a chance to win. I'm going to explain some of the rules and some of the perks that allow for that to happen. Silas was asking real quick, are you going to any concerts anytime soon? There was a Chevelle show coming up, but there were kind of two things. Again, the main reason I'm trying to get out to more shows is really just to meet people. And the Chevelle show, it's kind of happening later in the day, and it's going to be about a 3-hour drive. And so it's already a far drive, and then it's going to be late. I'm going to have to drive all the way back and get really late. But it's also a really big show. It's not quite as small as even the one I went to with Lacey and Ben. it's a much bigger show, and I think bigger shows, I kind of looked it up, and it sounds like it's not really the best setting for meeting people because most people are going to be focused on the show, and it's really loud and big that you don't really get a chance to kind of mingle with people. So if it was closer, I'd probably go, but it's kind of, there's sort of too many variables that make it seem like it's not really going to be worth the trip. And then Stephen Curtis Chapman actually has a show. Once again, his is also 3 hours away, but it's a little bit of a smaller show. That one is debatable. I'm considering it, but I have a feeling I might not go with that one either. So as of right now, I can't say there's any shows that I'm planning to go to, but there's a few that are kind of coming up that I have my eye on. Becky, planning to be yourself for Halloween. Nothing wrong with that. I think it's fun to dress up, though. I think it's fun to be different characters. Let's see here. Yep, nachos sound good. I heard Chevelle is touring, playing with who? I think they might be playing with Asking Alexandria and one other band. I can't really remember. I was like, I was familiar with the other two bands, but they weren't really bands that I listened to regularly. But should be a good show. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a good one. All right, here are the rules to the tier list game. I'm going to go ahead and explain them. So again, not too late for anyone to join. In fact, it's never too late. You can always join in at any moment in the game. Here we go. Here's the rules. So the way this works, and also, quick reminder, change the chat to live chat. I actually need to do that now. But you can see at the top of the chat on the top left, there's a little section. It probably says top chat, and if you click that, it'll give you the option to change it to live chat. That's important because it shows you the comments as they're coming in. Also, courtesy reminder, make sure you are caught up with the stream. If you are behind, if you're not actually live, if you're a little bit behind the live stream, then you're going to be at a disadvantage. So make sure you've got your chat set to live chat. I know I've got mine. Here are the rules. So everyone starts at the bottom of the tier list. Everyone's starting in F tier. And I'm basically going to ask a series of questions, challenges, and whoever answers it correctly, whoever gets it right, whoever answers first, whatever it might be, gets to move up in ranking. You move up to the next tier list. However, as people advance, it's going to unlock perks that give other contenders a chance to catch up. So the first one, as soon as someone makes it to C tier, anyone below will get 2 points for their next win. So that means if someone gets to C tier, someone could be in F tier, but their next question is worth 2 points. So they'll be caught up with C tier. They can be tied for the lead just for their next answer. Someone in D tier could actually take the lead. They'll get 2 points and they'll get to skip C tier and take the lead moving up to B tier. So again, that's the first perk that's unlocked. The next perk, as soon as someone makes it to A tier, that's the last tier before the winning tier, S tier. As soon as someone makes it to A tier, all tiers below that will be worth 2 points for their next win. So that means if someone is in B tier, they could take the win. They could get their next answer and skip A tier and take the win at S tier. Someone all the way back at F tier, rather than having to answer 5 questions to win, they only have to answer 3. So if they're fast and if they're quick with their answers, they can still come back. We've had it happen before. People have joined in late and they've made a comeback and taken the win. Now, Google is allowed. Again, sometimes I'll ask questions, and if nobody knows the answer, it's not fun to just sit around and be like, oh, no one knows the answer. So you are allowed to use Google, and Google's never going to be as fast as somebody who already knows the answer. So if you've got the answer, you're going to be able to type that a lot faster than someone who has to Google the answer first. But yes, Google is permitted, except for riddles. Sometimes I'll ask riddles, and I just think they're more fun if you really think them out. I try to pick ones that seem pretty doable, that aren't too tricky. So riddles are the only one that we kind of have a trust policy, like please don't use Google, because I think it's a lot more fun to try and figure them out. But other than that, Google is fair. And let's see, lastly, and also just to clarify, I'm always going to choose the first answer I see in the chat. So if ever there's a tie, if 2 people give the same answer, I'm always going to go with the one that shows up first. Now, if you set the chat to live chat, that should fix that problem. Everyone should see who sent the answer first. But sometimes, for whatever reason, someone will type an answer and they'll think their answer was first, but someone else
I'm seeing someone else's answer first. So just to clear confusion, I'm always going to go with what I see. I'm always going to go with the one that I see. And we've got Leo here as well. Leo, appreciate you tuning in. I forgot to add you in on this, so let me grab Leo's name. So far we've got Leo, Silas, and Becky. I know Jack's not going to be sticking around for long, but if you do, you're in this. And Fab, if you have a change of heart and decide throwing some answers out there, you're certainly welcome to. And let's see, I think that's just about it for the rules. And again, just a few reminders. Make sure your chat is set to live, and make sure you are live with the stream. There's always going to be a little bit of a delay, and you'll be at a disadvantage if you are not live with the stream. All right. I think we're just about to get this thing kicked off. Let me catch up with the chat, and then we will get going. Let's see here. Thanks for the reminder. My pleasure. Yeah, Fab saying, I love when the guest band outplays the headliner. I'm sure it has happened. I'm sure there's been bands that are opening up for bigger acts, and they totally steal the show. See here. Wow, I didn't know you could change that. I'm not sure. Oh, Leo might be commenting on the chat thing. Yeah, for the longest time, I didn't know it either. I just always left it as it was, and somebody pointed it out that you could change it from top chat to live chat. And that way, I think you see all the comments and you see them as they're coming in. I'm not totally sure what the difference is, but I know live chat is actually live. Top chat seems to filter out certain comments. See here. Hey, we got Hobbs in the chat. Hey, Hobbs, appreciate you tuning in. Let me get you in on this competition. Let me get a name for you. I can't remember if I've got one made for you yet. But appreciate you tuning in. Let me know, how has your week been? Anything fun or eventful happened lately? Or is there anything coming up that you're excited about and looking forward to? Let me know. We're just about to get going. I'm going to get a name made for you so we can get you in on this thing. Give me just a second here. And hopefully you heard the rules. Basically, everyone's just starting at the bottom on F tier. And I'm just going to ask a series of questions and challenges, and whoever answers first, you get to advance in the rankings, and everyone is trying to get to the top. First person to S tier wins the game. However, certain perks are unlocked along the way. So someone might be taking the lead, but as someone gets further up, they unlock perks for the people behind, so that way they can catch up. So it is very possible, even if someone comes in late, they can still make a comeback and take the win for the game. So that's kind of the fun thing. It's a game that anyone can play, and anyone can hop in at any moment and still have a fighting chance to win. So here we go. Hobbs, I just got your name made, so we're going to get you in on this competition as well. We're just about to get started. Going to have some competition. I'm going to have some more music in a bit as well. Let's see here. Yep. Yeah, I was going to get Bipools made, but I don't know if he's still out there. If you're still out there, let me know. I'll get you a name made. Some hellos happening. Yeah, everyone. Yep, always nice to greet people. Whenever someone new comes, be sure to welcome them. So, yep, everyone say hello to Hobbs. Yep, I heard the rules. Thank you. Awesome. Well, we're about to get going. Cool. All right, here we go. Everyone give me a thumbs up or let's go. Bring it on. Let me know that you're ready, and we will start with the first question, the first challenge. Now, this first one, I will say, actually is a riddle. So I would prefer that you don't use Google for this. Again, I think the riddles are more fun when you actually try to figure them out. So there's a little bit of a trust policy here, just trusting that no one's going to use it. For everything else, Google is fine. But just for the sake of fun, I think the riddles are more fun when you actually try to figure them out. Hobbs is ready. Anyone else? Let's see a thumbs up or a let's go. I'm ready. Just let me know. Leo's ready. Becky's ready. All right, here we go. All right, we got a riddle for you. What can you catch but can't throw? Again, for these riddles, sometimes you kind of got to think outside the box a little bit. What can you catch but can't throw? So try to think about that. Might have to think outside the box. You're allowed to give multiple guesses. You can type your guesses. Hobbs got it right off the bat. And Becky, you were right behind. But yep, cold is the answer. Yep, you can catch a cold. You can't throw it, though. Silas might be dealing with a little bit of a cold right now, so I'm sure he wishes he could throw it away. But yeah, flu, yeah, potentially flu would count. But yeah, cold was the answer we were looking for. So way to go, Hobbs, coming out strong, already advancing to D tier. Way to go. All right, here we go for the next question. All right, this one, this is kind of a new question. Haven't asked this one before. There's multiple answers, or I should say multiple possible answers for this, okay? So we're not looking for one specific answer. It's a little bit of a race. Like, yes, you have to give an answer that works, but you also got to be fast, okay? So here we go. Hope you're ready. I need you to name something. First person, name something that we have in common. So you and me, something that we have in common. First person to name something that we have in common gets the point. It can be anything, whatever crosses your mind. Leo says, well, I think you could throw a cold if you tried hard enough. Maybe. I'll have to try that sometime. Hair. Yep, man, Hobbs coming out fast. Leo pretty close. Taste in music. Yep, we do have that in common. Yep, and Becky thinking the same thing. We love rock music. But Hobbs had it. Yep, we both have hair. So, oops, rock. Yep. Now, I knew what you meant. Ravok music. I'll have to check that out, but it's kind of slightly more extravagant. So here we go. So Hobbs, so far, off to a good lead, but you've unlocked a perk. So now everyone underneath C tier, their next answer is worth 2 points. So everyone, you could still catch up to C tier if you can answer your next question. Being single, yep. That's something we have in common. We write music. Yep, Silas and I, that's something else we have in common. You guys definitely brought some good answers, so awesome job with that. Yeah, I was kind of curious what answers would happen. It's definitely fun, kind of the one. I will say, you guys gave some fun answers with, oh, we like the same kind of music, or we both write music, or whatever it might be. But it could be anything, like we both have noses, we both have eyes, we both have brown eyes, we both have ears, whatever it might be. We both can breathe. You could probably come up with like some absurd ones, but technically they count. All right, everyone, go ahead and give me a thumbs up or let's go, I'm ready, when you're ready for the next question. All right, yeah, we've got some good. Yep, Hobbs is bringing it, so yep, keeping everyone on their toes. Make sure you're ready. All right, let's see here. Ready? All right, good stuff. What do we got here? All right, we've got a movie quote. Okay, so we're looking for the title of a movie. I'm going to say a quote from a movie. First person to type the title of the movie will get the point. Here we go. The quote is this. Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all? And as I recall, it was actually... it was who's the fairest of them all. I've got it written here, who's the fairest one of all, but same difference. Magic mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? First person to name the title of that movie. Snow White from Becky. Becky's got it. Sleeping Beauty, not quite. Yep, wrong Disney princess. Silas coming in. Yep, but that one goes to Becky. Yep, we've got Snow White. Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, if you want to be technical, but Snow White will... Oh, yeah, yours is worth 2, so there we go. Yep, so Becky, you're caught up at C tier with Hobbs. Way to go. So we are already off to some good competition here. Good stuff. All right, we're going to take a brief intermission for some music, and then we will get back with the competition. Now, for this next song, I'm actually... I'll be honest, I think I'm okay, but we've had some people in and out. So I think I'm going to do an instrumental for this next one, because just in case, I can't tell if somebody's in that office over there. And if someone is, then I don't exactly want to be screaming my lungs out when they can't hear the music. So I'm going to pick an instrumental for this next bit. But we're going to take a brief intermission for some music, and then we will continue with the competition. Let's see, there it is right there. Yeah, I'm going to play this song next. So far, we're off to a good start. Hobbs with a strong start, taking the first two. Becky making a good comeback, catching up. And again, anyone in F tier, your next answer is worth 2 points. So you can catch up and be tied for first just as well. So we're off to a great start. Let me know, again, if you guys have any plans or if there's any goals. If you've had any goals for this year that you're working towards, let me know how they're coming along. Let me know how those things are happening. Silas has got a lot coming up this weekend. He's been working on a lot. You guys, let me know if there's anything fun or exciting. But I've got a song for you. We're going to take a brief intermission for some music, and then we're going to continue with our competition. So here we go. This one's going to be an instrumental, but hope you enjoy it. This one's called Ascension. Thank you. Again, that one was called Ascension. Hope you all enjoyed it. And I got to say, it was a good call because, yes, a friend of mine in the using the office, and they just left. So thankfully, I should be able to sing from this point on. But yeah, the next song I was going to do was going to have some screaming in it. And it's like, I can maybe do some songs like when I'm just singing, but if I'm going to do a song and it's going to have screaming in it, it's like, I just can't do it when someone's in here and they can't hear the music. Because if someone's here, you know, you guys can hear the music. You guys, I can hear it in the headphones, but if someone comes here, I'm going to be some wacko in the hallway just screaming my head off, and they don't even hear the distortion from the guitar. It's just the strings. So it doesn't quite sound as impactful as what you guys are hearing. So good call switching to an instrumental there. But anyway, let's catch up with the chat, and we're going to continue with the competition. For anyone just tuning in, don't be shy, say hello, and it's not too late to join the competition. You guys can hop in. In fact, let's have a look at the scoreboard so far. We're playing the tier list game, and everyone starts at the bottom. So far, we've got Hobbs and Becky tied for the lead in C tier, but everyone underneath C tier, their next answer is worth 2 points. So if you're just joining, it's not too late. You get the next answer, you can jump up and be tied for the lead. So definitely jump in. Let's catch up with the chat, and then we will continue with the competition. Let's see here. Yep, good job on that. Yep. We love a good instrumental. Well, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Leo. Yep. You did great. Thank you, Silas. I thought there was somebody there. Quincy kept looking to the side. Yeah, there was. It's a couple cousins of mine, husband and wife. And the husband stepped out and he left, but he closed the door and the light was still on. So I was like, there must be someone still in there. And I wasn't sure who it was. So yeah, I was kind of a little unsure. For those of you who don't know, I do these streams in a hallway at my church. So usually there's nobody here, but every once in a while somebody comes in and they've got something to take care of and stuff. So, but usually I'm here and I can make as much noise as I want. I technically could do streams from my bedroom at home, but I share the home with some other family members, and I definitely would not feel comfortable singing out loud at home. Here, I usually have the place to myself. I'm a lot more comfortable being able to sing out. Let's see here. Which do you like better, Ascension or Hard Goodbyes? I'd be curious what you guys think of that. For me, I enjoy both. I think I've said this before, but when I originally wrote Ascension, it was actually written for my friends to play the music and for me to do the drums. It was written for me to do a drum performance, and I was going to play drums, and the guitar parts were written with my friends in mind. So I definitely like that one, but Hard Goodbyes is the harder song to play and a little more satisfying. There's kind of, like, it's tougher to play, but there's some cool... I kind of like the emotional vibe of it, and I like the solo in that one. That one's got a good solo, but it's a pretty tough solo too. That one I have to keep my chops up on. Becky saying, yeah, I love Ascension. Awesome. I'm glad you like it. I think I like this better. How about you? So Silas, or it sounds like Becky maybe leans more towards Ascension. Thank you for the fire, Hobbs. Much appreciated. Hobbs also saying, great song, great guitar skills. Thank you. Very kind of you. Much appreciated. Hobbs, let me know. Are you a musician yourself? Do you play guitar? Do you play any other instruments? Do you sing? Do you like to write music, or do you just prefer to play songs from other bands? Let me know. Let me know what your musical background is if you play any music. Let's see, this one. Yeah, sounds like Silas likes this one, although they're pretty close. So cool. Where do any of you listen to music? Yeah. This is so pretty, like a movie soundtrack. I like the way it changes pace. Well, thank you. Yeah, that's definitely the vibe. It's definitely kind of sort of a metalcore, progressive metal thing. Like it tells a story, and that's a good way to put it, like a movie soundtrack. Like it's not just the whole way through. It kind of progresses, and it's almost like you could almost picture visuals. And yeah, there is that kind of soft, pretty part that happens. Yes, sir, this dude is a master. Thank you, Silas. Very kind of you to say. Thank you for the emojis. Bravissimo. Bravissimo. Maybe that's how you pronounce it. At least they got to hear it before they left. Yeah, actually, they were like just leaving before I even started playing. It was like during the whole instrumental part with just the drums doing like the telephone, like. It's like, so I'm waiting to play, and then they show up and they leave. And so I might have been okay to actually sing a song, but either way, better safe than sorry. All right. Becky saying, I mostly listen to music on YouTube and sometimes on my old CD player. That's cool. Yeah, I've got some CDs that were in my Jeep, and that was fun from time to time. But my stereo my Jeep's old, and some of you know I'm actually shopping for a new car right now. Stereo doesn't work, so haven't been using the CD player, and the engine needs to be replaced or something, some huge expense. So I'm actually shopping for a new car right now, but that'd be great. I hope the new car I get, if they still put CD players in cars, I hope mine has one, because I've got some good CDs and they're fun to pop in from time to time. I think it's nice you think about other people like that. Well, thank you. Much appreciated. Yeah, try to be courteous, you know. It's both being courteous, but also for my own sake, you know, because I have to see these people later after the stream and be like, oh, did you catch me screaming my head off? And yep, Silas using Spotify. Good stuff. Yeah, I tend to listen a lot. I've got some music on my phone, like actually on there. So that's really nice. I like to own music and be able to just pick it, you know, not have to worry about ads or Wi-Fi or anything like that. But other than that, I listen to a lot of music on YouTube myself. Hobbs says, I play lead guitar. Awesome. Bass, drums, some keyboard, and a little 5-string banjo. Thank you for asking. Awesome. Do you post music anywhere? I don't know if you write music or if you do covers or anything, if you post it on YouTube or anything like that. I don't know if you play in a band. Definitely, you know, tell me more about yourself. You know, we're going to get back into the game, but feel free to let me know more about your musical background and stuff. That's awesome that you play several instruments. Very cool. Master of none, though. Hey, there's more to that expression. A lot of people hear jack of all trades, master of none, but there's more to the expression. It's actually jack of all trades, master of none is oftentimes better than a master of one. So it's actually saying that sometimes you're better off having multiple skills, even if you're not a master at any single one of them. Sometimes you're better off because of that. It definitely gives you a lot more flexibility and versatility in being able to do that. So I think there's pros and cons to either. You know, there's some people that specialize at one thing. They're just really good at that one thing. And sometimes, probably the best thing about that is it gives them a clear sense of direction of what all they can do, like what options they have. Whereas a jack of all trades, yeah, you might not specialize at one particular thing, but you don't have to depend on so many people. There's a lot you're able to do on your own. You have a lot of flexibility or adaptability. There's a lot of benefits to being able to learn a lot of skills. And I don't know if you guys know this, but a Renaissance man is sort of like a jack of all trades, but actually someone who does master multiple things. So I think the next level up from a jack of all trades is a Renaissance man, where you actually master multiple skills. Yeah, Becky saying I only heard the first part of the quote before. Same here. For the longest time, I'd only known that first part. I never knew the second bit. So that was kind of reassuring, because I kind of consider myself a jack of all trades. Like, I love a lot of interests, but again, I don't necessarily excel or specialize at one particular thing. But I do pretty good considering the variety of stuff that I mess around with. I have played in a number of bands and have been posting some songs on YouTube I have recorded with others. Awesome. Well, I'll definitely have to check out your channel later. And everyone else, yeah, definitely be sure to stop by. And if you see a video you like, be sure to leave a like and a comment on Hobbs' channel. Awesome. Well, let's get back in the competition. Everyone, again, courtesy reminder, make sure you are caught up with the stream. Make sure you are live. If you're behind, if you're delayed, you're going to be at a disadvantage. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up or type, I'm ready, let's go, something like that. Let me know that you're ready, and we will continue. For anyone who hasn't joined the competition yet, it's not too late. Go ahead and just say, hey, I'm in this. You can even spit out an answer, but I'll get your name in on the competition. Becky is ready. My pleasure, Hobbs. Absolutely. Also, courtesy reminder, I'm going to go ahead and get a sip of water. So courtesy reminder, stay hydrated out there. All right, anyone else ready? We got Becky ready to go. Let me get the next question popped up. All right, yeah, I got the next one ready. Leo is ready. Awesome. Leo is ready. Becky's ready. We're going to get going. This next one is actually going to be multiple answers. So there's more than one correct answer, and it's basically the first one to give a correct answer. Yep, ready. Awesome. All right, here we go. I'm going to ask for a song from an artist. You can name any song from this artist. That's it. So multiple answers, any song can qualify. It just has to be from this artist. First person to name a song by the band 3 Days Grace. We're looking for a 3 Days Grace song. First person to name a 3 Days Grace song gets the point. See what we got here. The anticipation is killing me. Any song by 3 Days Grace. Silas got it with Animal I Have Become, which is a great song. That is a classic. If by chance any of you haven't heard it, definitely check it out. That's potentially one of their best songs. So Silas, way to go. Caught up with the lead. So we've got a three-way tie for first place right now with Hobbs, Becky, and Silas. But again, I think Jack had to leave. I don't know if Jack is here. Fab sometimes slips in and out, but I think he may be left as well. Leo, not too late, though. You can totally come back. Your next answer will get you right up in first place with everyone else. Well done, Silas. Yeah, that was fast. Way to go. Hey, nothing to apologize for. You're trying to win this thing. Yep. Don't apologize for being too fast. That's the name of the game. But just a reminder, everyone, make sure you are caught up with the stream. Make sure you're not too delayed. Yep, Silas, nothing to be sorry for. Yep. All right, let's see here. We're going to move on. All right, this next one I'm looking forward to. Now, guess what? This next one, everyone gets a chance to qualify what's the word I'm looking for? To submit an answer. There we go. So this next one, speed is not of the essence. Everyone gets a chance to submit. All right. Here we go. Leo saying, I didn't realize I didn't have any 3 Days Grace in my playlist. Now I got to add them. Yeah, definitely some good stuff. Their album 1X is really good. And then they had an album, the one that came right after that. That was really good also. 3 Days Grace discography. Drawing a blank on the name of the next album. Life Starts Now. That's what it's called. Those were two really good albums. 1X and Life Starts Now. And actually, their very first album might be pretty good too. I don't know if I've ever heard the album in its entirety. If I have, I haven't listened to it in a while. I might have to go back and check that out. I know there's some good songs on it, but those two, those got some good songs on them. All right, here we go. All right, so everyone gets a chance to submit an answer here. All right, I'm going to pick my favorite answer. So everyone, you get to submit an answer, and I'm just going to pick my favorite one, okay? Now, please, think, you don't need to rush, so pick a good answer, Don't submit a whole bunch. You only need to send one good one. If by chance you guys happen to, both send the same one of you can send another one or something like that, but don't know if that's going to happen. Everyone, give me your best dad joke, okay? And if you don't have one off the top of your head, that's okay. You can look one up. But we're looking for best dad joke. So everyone gets a chance. Everyone gets a chance to submit a dad joke, and I'm going to pick the one that I like best. So make sure you submit a good one. Don't just pick the first one that comes to your head. Try to find like a good one. Give you a little bit of time to find a good dad joke. And I'm going to pick my favorite. All right. So I know it might take a little bit of time. So I'll give you guys some updates while we're waiting for submissions to happen. All right. But we're looking for good dad jokes. Speaking of dad jokes, I got to say, if you haven't seen the movie The Naked Gun, fantastic. Both of them, both the original and the new one that has come out. That's what I was talking about. So if you haven't been out to theaters to see that movie yet, I loved it. It was great. If you like there's definitely some dad joke humor in there, but there's good puns in there. There's good visual gags. and just really, really witty dialogue. I describe it as a dumb movie made by really smart people. You know, it's like it's silly humor, but it's a lot of fun. And so if you want to see a movie that's just a lot of fun and just go in and have a good time and have some good laughs, that's a good one to go see. So can't recommend it enough. But since we're on the topic of dad jokes, The Naked Gun is definitely something to check out. All right, here we go. We got our first submission from Hobbs. What's the difference between a buffalo and a bison? You can't wash your hands in a buffalo. This may not translate across the pond. UK joke. All right, so I'm guessing a bison is something used for washing your hands. So, yeah, unfortunately. Hey, that's cool that you're across the pond, though. That's cool if you are from... Are you from... Wait. Hobbs, are you in the United States or in the UK? Because I know Becky is from the UK. She's over in that direction, so I don't know if you're over there. But I think a bison is for washing hands. You know, you can't wash your hands with a buffalo, but that's pretty good. That's not a bad one right there. Here's one from Becky. A wash basin. Yeah, that's what it is. Why do melons have weddings? Because they can elope. Yep, they can elope. Yeah. It probably should be so they can elope. So they can elope. That's pretty good. Not too bad. That's a clever one. I hadn't heard that one before. Here's from Silas. Where do crowns go on vacation? Colorado. Yep, to color. Colorado. That's pretty good right there. And here we got from Leo. How does a penguin build its house? I don't know. What's the punchline to that one? How does a penguin build its house? I'm trying to even think what the answer would be. Igloos it together. That's pretty good. Igloos it together. That's good. All right, guys, those were some good ones. I don't think I'd heard... First off, kudos to everyone for submitting jokes that I hadn't heard. It wasn't like a old dad joke that everyone's heard. Those were some good ones. I got to give runner-up to Becky. I like that cantaloupe joke. That was really good. The Colorado one's pretty good too, but I think I'm going to give it to Leo for the penguin joke. How does a penguin build its house? It glues it together. That's pretty clever, so way to go. And that's going to get Leo caught up. Man, we've got a good competition happening here. We've got a four-way tie for first place. And if anyone's just tuning in, it's not too late. You can definitely catch up, so way to go. Yep, you guys had some good ones, good submissions there. And every now and then we'll bring that up. We'll bring up the dad joke challenge. And it's kind of fun because it gives everyone a chance to bring in a new one, so it's not always the same submissions and stuff. All right, everyone give me a thumbs up or just type, let's go, I'm ready. Let me know that you're ready, and we will move on to the next one. We've got a little bit of a trivia question coming up. So this is one you guys might know the answer. To be honest, you might be able to guess the answer. So you've kind of got a few ways to go about this. If you know the answer, you can type it. There's a chance of guessing it, so you could try guessing it, or you could Google it. Becky is ready. Leo saying, heard that one from my friend in high school. That's a pretty good one. Yep. Here, real quick, just for fun, we're going to move on, but I've actually got a few jokes. I think some of them are dad jokes, but I thought it'd be fun to have some, like every now and then, it's fun to have some jokes in your back pocket just to pull out, but whenever the opportunity comes to share them, like I never just have jokes in the back of my head. So somewhere I've got a note here. I started collecting some. See if I can find them. I don't want to take too long looking for this, but I thought I'd make a habit. Like anytime I hear a good joke, just start adding them to a list here. Here we go. I'm not going to read. I'm only going to pick one for tonight. I love this joke. This is a good one. All right. So the other night after dinner, my mom asked if I could clear the table. I needed a running start, but I made it. I think that's a pretty good one. I got to work on my delivery of that. But when I read it, the way I read it, I love that. So that's a good one right there. After dinner, my mom asked if I could clear the table. I needed a running start, but I made it. There we go. All right, here we go. Next question. What do we got here? 1 second. All right, cool. Yep, we're going to do one more question, and then, yep, there we go. Thanks for the courtesy laughter, Becky. There we go. Yeah, good laugh from Hobbs, too. So, all right, what do we got? Lost my place. Okay, here we go. Trivia question. Here we go. You are allowed to Google this, but you might just be able to guess it. In what year was the first iPhone released? So we're looking for the year. Thanks. Leo saying no, that was great. Yeah, thanks. I thought that was a good one too. That's probably one of the better ones that I've come across. Like if I come across a good one, I'll write them down. I'm trying to get like a nice collection of some good ones so I can have them on hand and just pull them out from time to time. All right, let's see what we got. 2008, good guess. 2005, not a bad guess either. 2004, 007. Hobbs, I think I'm going to give it to you because I think you meant 2007. But yeah, Becky's saying 3003. It's like, wow, it hasn't come out yet. And then, yeah, Hobbs still came back and managed to say 2007. Yeah, the iPhone isn't even out yet. It doesn't come out till 3003. We got another, 1,000 years to go? Yeah, 2007. That is correct. So that one goes to Hobbs. Way to go. Hobbs, you advance to B tier. You are now taking the lead. So awesome job. Yes, the first iPhone came out in 2007. I got to be honest, that's actually earlier than I thought it would be. 2007 is definitely the year of iPods. Like iPods are still around because I was in high school at that time. Everyone had an iPod. So the fact that the iPhone was a thing is kind of surprising, but it must not have been, definitely didn't take over the world yet, you know? So they were still coming to be. I'm not sure. I wonder when iPods just became irrelevant. Do they even still make iPods? Like, you would think they would in case someone wanted a music device, but like I would think for your son or your daughter, if you wanted them to have their music on a device, but you didn't want them to have access to Wi-Fi or internet or phone calls or anything like that, I'm sure they still make iPods. Let me just look that up. I'm curious now. iPod. I'm just going to look it up. I mean, I guess they do. It says the spirit of the iPod lives on. We've integrated incredible music experience across all our products. Or, I'm not sure. I can't really tell. Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't make iPods anymore. They might be totally gone. Hobbs says, I remember my friend buying one. Yep, iPhone for the first time. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of curious. What's sort of funny is, I don't know if you guys are iPhone users. I'm mostly an Apple user. Like, I'm using a Mac right now. I used to have an iPod. So, not that I'm, I just liked Mac, mostly because it works, especially old Apple. Like, the whole point of it was it just works. And that was the great thing about it. But as far as phones go, I actually don't have an iPhone. I've got an Android Moto G something. I think that's what it's called, Moto G. And mostly because for the longest time, I did not have a smartphone. And when I set out to get one, I wanted like the most simple, efficient one. I honestly think iPhones, like, they're really powerful. So if you're not careful, they can be a bit of a distraction. And I just wanted one that did what I needed to do. I didn't need any extra bustles and whistles and bells and things like that. Just wanted like the simplest smartphone I could get. So that's why I've got an Android. And it works fine. I actually love it quite a bit. But it's sort of funny because as someone who uses Apple products, it's amazing how different it is. You go from this and then someone hands you an iPhone and I'm like, how do you work this thing? It's like, they're somehow similar and yet they function completely differently. All right, awesome job. Yes, Becky saying, good job, Hobbs. You're the new Daniel. So that's quite the compliment. So Hobbs, I don't know if you know Daniel, but he's a regular on here, and he held the record. He's technically still has the most wins, but Silas has caught up with him. I think one other person has caught up with him as well. But no one has actually surpassed him in wins so far, and he's kind of known for coming in late and then coming back and taking the win. So he's a fierce competitor. Becky's saying, just found a BBC article from 2022 saying they've been discontinued. Okay, yeah, I saw that date. I had a feeling maybe in 2022 they were discontinued. Apple goods are a little expensive for me. Windows and Android are good. The idea, I can't comment on this in the current state, but I can definitely say 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, the thing about Apple was you were paying more, but you were paying for longevity also. You were paying for simplicity and longevity. That was the idea. And my dad can testify to this because for his business, he often needed computers. He needed laptops. He had to go through so many laptops. But I think he's still using his MacBook. Like ever since he's gotten it, he hasn't had to upgrade it or update it or anything like that. And I'm still using, I got this MacBook from 2012 and it's still working for me. So that's kind of the main thing. Like, yeah, this thing cost like over $1,000, but it's also lasted me over 10 years. You know, it's like my brother uses like really cheap laptops and he's had to buy several, you know, he's had to replace them over and over again. So that's kind of what you're paying for. You are paying for the quality. Now, does that still carry over to Apple today? I'm not really sure. I can't really comment on that. I know some people kind of criticize the current state of their brand, that they're not quite the same as they used to be, but that's what it was. Back then, yes, you were paying more, but in the end, you were actually saving money because it was more convenient, it worked a lot better, lasted longer, so it's kind of the same amount of money you were going to spend anyway. You just spend it all at once rather than spending it over a period of time. Okay, we're going to take a brief intermission. Again, Hobbs is currently in the lead at B tier, followed closely behind by Becky, Silas, and Leo. And if anyone tunes in, they can still jump in and have a chance to come back and get in on the competition. But we're going to take a quick intermission for some music, and then we will be back with our competition. Let me get the next, I got the backing track set up. All right, next song I got for you. First, courtesy reminder, stay hydrated. All right, here we go. This next song is my latest release called Farewell to Fear. Speaking of which, just so you guys know, I have started the production cycle. I'm still doing a little bit of writing, but I am working on my next song. You guys haven't even heard it yet, but it is a song called Pull the Trigger. The lyrics are almost done. They're not quite done yet, but I'm hoping to get the lyrics done. And if possible, I would love it if I could get a demo made so I can at least perform the song for you guys before I even release it. So whether or not that happens, I'm not sure. We'll see. But I am currently working on my next release, hoping to release it in early October. That's the target that we're aiming for. So in early October will be my next release, a song called Pull the Trigger. Definitely excited to share it with you all. But in the meantime, here is my latest release. This one is called Farewell to Fear. Hope you enjoy it.
Always meant well, so you say. Only wanted to keep me safe, but your hold just keeps getting tighter, and I'm growing old. So farewell down there, and God walk to me. What's the point of life if you won't play the game? I refuse to live in this misery. So farewell to there, and good luck to me. Can't keep hiding anymore. I need to break out of this shell. There's a fire deep down inside me, but it's getting cold. So farewell to faith. I know there's adventure just waiting for me. Just hold on to faith. I know there's adventure just waiting for me. Don't be afraid. Just hold on to faith. I know there's adventure just waiting for me. Waiting for me. Waiting for me. Don't be afraid. Just hold on to faith. I know there's adventure just waiting for me.
Thank you. Again, that one is called Farewell to Fear. And that is my latest release. If you enjoyed that song, it is available on Spotify and other streaming platforms, so you can definitely check it out there. Also, just so you know, if you do enjoy my music, and if you are one who still likes to download music, all of my music is available on Bandcamp as well. You can download it for free, or if you'd like to show some support, you're certainly welcome to purchase at whatever price you would prefer. In fact, I'm just going to give a little shout out. I'm going to post a link. If you do enjoy my music and you want to support my music so I can make more of it, I'll post a link. It's also pinned. Oh, actually, I haven't pinned it yet. Let me get that. Whoops. Clicked on something I didn't mean to. Let me get that pinned real quick. There we go. So yeah, if you'd like to show some support for my music, that link there, there's a few different options. There's a merch store available, so get yourself a cool shirt or a hat, something like that. There's a tip jar if you feel like providing a little something. Again, you can download my music from Bandcamp from that link. You can download it for free if you'd like to, or if you'd like to give a little something. And then lastly, if you want to stay notified, again, I've got a new song that I'm planning to release early October. If you want to be notified when I release new music, whenever I do these streams, be sure to sign up for my email list. Again, same link at the bottom. You can sign up for the email list, and that way I can just notify you, keep you up to date on my projects as I release them. All right, let's catch up with the chat, and we will continue with this competition. Let me bring back up the leaderboard. For anyone just tuning in, don't be shy. Say hello, and it's not too late. You can join in on this thing and still have a chance to come back and win it. So far in the lead, we got Hobbs being quite the contender so far. So bringing quite some good competition, but not far behind. We've got Becky, Silas, and Leo all tied in C tier. And then Jack and Fab, I believe, have left, but they're at the bottom right now. And anyone else tuning in, you're going to, if you were to join in the competition, you would start at F tier, but your next question is worth 2 points. So even if you're in F tier, you can be caught up in second place at C tier just from getting one answer correct. So that's all you got to do. We're going to catch up with the chat and then continue with the competition. What do we got here? Let's see here. Silas was saying, when I get to it, I'll have to lend you a CD with my original music when I make one eventually. Hey, that'd be cool. I'd be down for getting a CD. Or unless you were talking to Becky. Yeah. You can use the @ symbol. If you type @ and then you type the username, you can direct your comment, whether it's to me or somebody else in the chat. And I think that's pounds, if I understand correctly. I think that's the pound symbol. You might have to correct me on that. My laptop cost me 80 pounds used. I have been using Reaper on it since 2019. Hey, not bad. Sounds like you're getting some good use out of it. It is getting a bit creaky with some of my larger virtual instruments, though. Yep, sometimes that can be the case, but awesome job, getting some good use out of it. And I hope it hangs in there for you. Sometimes you can get a little more longevity. You can, for this computer, I've done things, I think I replaced, let's see, I think I replaced the internal hard drive, and I've had to replace the battery a couple times and things like that. But it's the same computer, and I've been able to, just by replacing a few parts, you can, and I think I improved the, the gigabytes or whatever, I'm drawing a blank on the names right now, but there were a few changes I made, almost 10 years ago. I did a few upgrades that almost made it like new, and then I think I had to replace a battery to continue to preserve its longevity. But sometimes you don't have to buy a whole new computer. You can just replace a few parts and get a little more longevity out of it. So that's awesome. I'm glad that you've gotten some good use out of it. Oh yeah. If we were going to send, if you were going to send anything to Becky or Hobbs, anyone overseas, might be a little pricey mailing something overseas. Silas saying, so exciting, Quincy. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you're excited about the new song release. I meant to tell you, Quincy, before he next sang this, he doesn't have to do the screaming part if he's not feeling up to it. Don't want to pressure him. No, it's never whether or not I want to or not. I always want to do it. The only time I wouldn't do it is if I had like a sore throat or something. But it's more so sometimes my, let's just say I'm not as confident with my high screams as my growls or some of my other singing parts. So it's more like, so far I've been pretty good at nailing it, but I think I did okay this time. I don't know if it was my best, but I think I did okay. But that's more so it. You were just commenting on how I'll nail that scream part, and then I'm like, oh great, now I got to see if I can get it every time. But I think it's good pressure. It forces me or it encourages me to stay in vocal shape so that I can always pull it off. Here's our highlighted lyric from Becky. There's a fire deep down inside me, but it's getting cold. And yeah, that's kind of the reminder. I think each of us, I think we're made for a purpose. I think each of us, we've got a purpose in our lives. And there's something inside of each of us. There's something that brings you to life like nothing else does. There's a certain topic or a certain interest, a certain passion that you have. And it puts a spark in you like nothing else does. And so there is a fire, I think, inside of each of us. And sometimes when we're not careful, when we let fear kind of dictate our lives and we don't fuel that fire, instead we kind of, in fear of it not working out or not pursuing it or whatever it might be, we kind of shield it. And over time, it gets cold and starts to sort of die out. And so don't let that flame die out. Don't let that spark go out. If there's something that gives you that life, something that you're passionate about, definitely take some time to fuel that and go after it. So that's kind of what that lyric is pointing to. Because again, the song, it's sort of saying there's a fire, but it's getting cold, so I've got to do something now. I've got to stop letting fear boss me around, and I got to go for it. Thank you for the fire, Becky and Silas. Much appreciated. Let's see here. Great song and vocals. Thank you, Hobbs. Much appreciated. Awesome. Yeah, thank you, Becky. Yes, sir. Thank you, Silas. Yeah, imagine they'd heard that scream. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. So if I was just in here and like someone came in and they hear waiting for me, all they would hear is just some random guy in the hallway screaming. They might hear like a little bit of like an unplugged electric guitar, but it's pretty funny. It's a drastic difference what someone hears if they're actually here and they're not listening to the what you guys are hearing through speakers. I hope I don't lose my Wi-Fi signal. It's saying heavy rain on my computer. Well, hopefully, we still got a bit of competition to go. So hopefully you can make it at least to the end of the competition. What's said about CDs? I do mean that all for get you all some CDs when I have them. Well, awesome. I appreciate that, Silas. I would certainly love to get a CD from you. Heavy rain in Hobbs area as well. Quincy, can you sing Rain? Just kidding. Yeah. Rain, rain, go away. I could give a shot. Yeah. Come again another day. I did that one a while back for acoustic. Have to pull that out for an acoustic segment. It's been a little while since I've done that one. All right. Go ahead. Give me a thumbs up or type, let's go. I'm ready. Bring it on. Let me know that you're ready and we will continue with the competition. And anyone just tuning in, it's not too late to join in on the competition. Again, quick recap. We've got Hobbs in the lead on B tier. Close behind is Becky, Silas, and Leo. And anyone just tuning in, your next answer is going to be worth 2 points. So you can be caught up. You can skip D tier, jump right up to C tier. And courtesy reminder, make sure you are caught up with the stream. Do make sure that you are live, because if you're not, you will be at a disadvantage. So make sure you are live with the stream. All right, this next challenge, we've got a password. And I'll explain that how that works in just a moment here. Yep, thumbs up, thumbs up. Looks like we're good to go. And Silas is looking to release music on Spotify, Apple, and Amazon. I don't know if I've told you before, Silas. And actually, let me know before you do. I think I can actually get you a discount, and you can sort of give some support to me. If you're looking to release music on Spotify and Apple, I use a service called DistroKid, and so let me know if you guys haven't paid for that yet. If you get to the point where you're thinking of doing that, let me know, because I think I can actually give you a discount on your payment for it. So I can kind of get you like a little bit of a deal. And then I think DistroKid actually sends me some compensation for that. So that'd be kind of a win-win for everyone. You get a deal to release your music, and I get a little bit of support for that. So when you're ready to do that, of course, you do need to be able to record your music first before you can release it. But if you're getting to that point, definitely let me know. Yep, Becky refreshed again. Yep, everyone's ready. Leo's ready. Good, good. Oh, thumbing up for the Breaking Benjamin song. Gotcha. But now you're ready. Yep, good stuff. All right, here we go. So this next one is a password. The way this works, I'm thinking of a single word. Some of you might know this, the password game. I think Jimmy Fallon kind of made it popular. But I'm just thinking of a single word, and you guys are trying to guess what is the one word that I'm thinking of. And I'm going to give you a one-word hint. So I'm going to say one word, that's the hint, and you can type as many guesses as you want. Just type a guess, send it in, type another guess, send it in. First person to guess the correct answer will get it. If no one's getting it, I will give a second hint. Again, it'll be another single-word hint. And once again, you guys can guess, and if still nobody gets it, then I'll give a third hint. Usually by that point, someone figures it out. But if no one gets it, then actually, I don't think that's ever happened. Usually someone figures it out. All right, here we go. So we're thinking of a word. Here's the first hint. The first hint is singing. The word is singing. So based off of that one word, singing. Silas asking a question, could DistroKid help with releasing music? Yes, that's exactly what DistroKid does. If you're talking about releasing music on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and all the platforms, you need a distributor to do that. So there are different services. There's other ones like CD Baby, and I think there's one called like TuneCore or something like that. The one I use is called DistroKid. I like that one best. It's worked really well for me. That's how I get all my music on Spotify. It's not like you just make a song and then you go to Spotify and click upload or something like that. No, if you're going to distribute your music, and if you want to get it to all platforms using a service like DistroKid, and it is a yearly subscription, so you do have to pay for it, and you do have to pay yearly, but it's pretty affordable, and you get quite a lot of benefit from it. Okay, I got to stop talking. Leo already got it with microphone. Way to go, Leo. So sorry, you guys were sending in a bunch of stuff, and I was too busy answering Silas's question. But there we go. The password was microphone. So way to go, Leo, getting that right. Did anyone else guess that? We had some other pretty good guesses, but yes, the correct answer was microphone. So way to go. And then Hobbs was saying, I've just subbed to you. We'll check out your content later. Awesome. Way to go, Hobbs. Very kind of you to sub to Silas. All right. Awesome job. So yeah, Silas, I hope that makes sense. Yeah, there's a distributor. And yeah, hoping didn't distract. The other hints were going to be, singing was the first one, and then the second hint was going to be device, and the third hint was going to be handheld. But microphone is the correct answer. So way to go. That was, let me double check, that was Leo, right? Who got that? I'm pretty sure it was Leo, but I was getting mixed up with a bunch of names here. Yep, Leo got it. So Leo, you are tied for first with Hobbs and Beats here. Awesome stuff. But yeah, Silas, if you ever have any more questions about releasing songs and that kind of thing, let me know. If you have more questions about DistroKid, let me know. But DistroKid, basically, it's a service. You pay for it, and then you just upload your song to it, and it asks for some information, like you need an album cover to upload with it. There's some information like the title of the song and who produced the song, some things like that. And then it'll send it out. It'll put it on YouTube Music, Spotify, Amazon, Apple, all the different places. Even places that I don't even know, like places I don't use. It just sends it out and makes it pretty simple. Does it pretty quickly too. And so it's a great platform. I've been very happy with DistroKid. So yeah, if you ever get to the point where you've recorded songs and you're wanting to release them, then DistroKid is a good service for that. All right. First one, never done it on the first guess before. Yeah, first guess and you got it right, so way to go. Nice job. No, Leo doesn't go to, because he gets to skip one. No. So the way it works is C tier unlocks a perk for everyone under C tier. So anyone on D tier or F tier, their answers are worth 2 points. Anyone on C tier, your answer is not worth 2 points. It's only worth 1. Now, as soon as somebody gets to A tier, then everything under A tier will be worth 2 points. So that's kind of how it works. So from C tier, anything under C tier is worth 2 points. And then once someone gets to A tier, anything under A tier will become worth 2 points. But yeah, once you make it to C tier, it's just 1 point. So yeah, Silas, your next answer will bring you up to B tier. Becky, your next answer will bring you up to B tier. But Hobbs or Leo, if one of them gets up to A tier, that's going to unlock a perk where everything underneath will be worth 2 points. All right, let's move on to the next question here. Everyone give me a thumbs up or type, let's go, I'm ready. Let me know when you're ready, and we will move on to the next one here. The next question, next challenge here. Let me find it. We've got a riddle. So this is one I'm going to ask. Again, kind of a trust policy here, but try not to use Google on this. It's not too hard, so I think you guys can figure this out. Silas saying, an album my band is working on, and I'm thinking about calling it I See a Rainbow, which is also a name of one of the songs. Yep, you can do that. A lot of people, sometimes they'll pick a song from the album that they feel best encapsulates the album. I'm going to share my 2 cents real quick. That's what a lot of artists do. You can do that. I've always thought it was cool when an artist gives the album its own name. Like there's a name for the album, and it's not one of the songs. It's just a name that represents the whole album. I always thought that was kind of cool. It's kind of easier to identify the album. You know, when you're looking for the album, there's a certain name for it. It's not just the song. It's the name for the whole album. So that's just my personal opinion. You know, if I ever put out an album, I would give it its own name. I wouldn't name it after one of the songs. But obviously, a lot of people do that. A lot of albums are named after one of the songs on it. So feel free to do what you'd like. But I just thought I would share that mindset in case you hadn't thought about it. Becky's ready. Hobbs is ready. Leo's ready. Awesome. Forgot the rules. Yep, that's okay. That's what I'm here for, to remind the rules. Who needs rules anyway? That's right. Yeah. Yep. All right, here we go. We've got a riddle. So do try to see if you can figure it out. Some of you might be able to figure this out. Again, I try to pick doable ones. I try to pick ones that aren't like too hard. The riddle is, what has one eye but can't see? What has one eye but can't see? That is the riddle. So first person to figure that out. What has one eye but can't see? A needle. Becky got it. Yep, a needle is right. The letter I. Yeah. That's kind of the obvious one, but yeah, a needle is correct. Hey, hurricane's not a bad guess either, but needle is the correct one. So way to go, Becky, getting it first try. Leo was saying, I am dyslexic and read that as frog brain. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I think Becky's a little bit smarter than a frog. Do tornadoes have the eye of the tornado? I know hurricanes have an eye of the storm. But yes, a needle is correct. So way to go, Becky. So awesome. Again, we've got a good game happening here. It's very close competition. Becky, once again, tied with everyone with Hobbs and Leo in B tier. And Silas not far behind. So we've got some close competition here. Awesome. Let's move on to the next challenge here. We got a little bit of a trivia question here. Now, I got to be honest, I accidentally slipped earlier. We were talking earlier in this stream, and I kind of slipped out this little fact about myself, and I didn't mean to. I meant to save it because it's a question that we're going to use here. So this is a question about me. It's totally a guess. Some of you might know it, but here we go. Last month, I went to see a show. What artist did I see live last month? First person to guess the name of the artist, or artists, I should say. First person to name the artist that I saw last month. And this is one, yeah, you might have to guess it if you don't know, because you're probably not going to be able to Google it. You know, what artist did Quincy see last month? Yeah, it wasn't Chevelle. Breaking Benjamin. Now, I'm going to be a little strict here. Becky said Breaking Benjamin, but to be honest, it technically wasn't Breaking Benjamin. It was just Ben Burnley of Breaking Benjamin. So I'm thinking of giving it to Silas. I don't know. I might give you both a point for that, because technically, yes, it was Breaking Benjamin and Flyleaf, but it was the lead singers. It was just Ben Burnley and Lacey Sturm. So I tell you what we'll do. We're going to give a point to both. So we're going to put Becky on A tier, but I'm going to give the point to Silas as well. So Silas, you're up on B tier. Now, really, this is anyone's game. So now that Becky has made it to A tier, that unlocks a perk. Anything under A tier is now worth 2 points. So actually, it's anyone's game. The next question will win the game. If Becky gets it, she wins. But Hobbs, Leo, Silas, if you guys get the next answer, you will take the win. So we've actually got like a 4-way tie here. It's anyone's game. So I think that's a good place for a nice dramatic pause to be continued. We're going to take a little intermission for some music, and then we will continue with the competition. So man, we're going to come back. We're going to take a song, and then when we come back, we're going to see who is going to win this competition here. So going to take a quick little break for some music, and then we will come back with the competition. Man, we got a close one. This has been a good round. You guys have been bringing some good competition this game. Let's see, what's the next song we got on the list here? All right, this is a little bit of an older one that I released a while back. Here we go. This is one, it is available on Spotify and other streaming services. So, yes, I did use a service like DistroKid to release this song. In fact, any song that I've released, DistroKid is what I used to release it. This was one, I actually did this a while back, and I would do these one-man band music videos. Or not really music videos, they're more like playthrough videos. So if you ever see my music on Spotify and it says OMB version, what that means is it's the one-man band version. Now, what exactly is that? The one-man band version, at that time when I was doing them, the idea was getting my songs out, but they weren't really finished versions. They were more like, they were mostly finished. Like it was the foundation of the song, but they were almost like really good demos. I didn't put a whole lot of effort into adding extra layers. I didn't add background vocals or anything like that. So they're almost a little bare. You could still hear it for what it is. Like it's still a song, but it definitely wasn't quite as, not quite as elaborate as the mixes that I put out now. So whenever you see OMB version, it's usually a more simplified kind of stripped down version of, well, not stripped down, but kind of a more just bare bones version of the song. It's not quite as elaborate as some of the later mixes that I put out. But I would also do videos for them. So if I did a one-man band version, I would make these playthrough videos. So it would show me singing the song, it would show me playing the guitar, playing the bass, and playing the drums. Now, that's quite a bit of work to do. That was probably the hardest part, was having to learn the drum. It just takes a lot of time to learn all the parts and then having to film myself playing them perfectly. So I don't do that quite as much anymore. But if you guys are curious to check it out, there is a video of me playing all the different instruments for this particular song. But tonight, just going to do the vocals and some guitar for you. Hope you like it. This one's called Erase Myself.
And I'll brace myself for all this pain, erase myself and start again. Grab a hold of me and throw me in the deep end. Show me the flame that burns inside of me, and I'll brace myself for all this pain, erase myself and start again, and I'll face myself with honesty, erase myself and start again. Yeah, yeah. I can't remain without the refiner. It's time to change what used to define me. Resist the pain, I have to keep fighting. Ignite the flame that's deep down inside me. It hurts at first, but worth all the pain to see myself and not be ashamed. It hurts at first, but worth all the pain to see myself and not be ashamed. And I'll brace myself for all this pain, erase myself and start again, and I'll face myself with honesty, erase myself and start again. Thank you. Again, that one is called Erase Myself. If you enjoyed the song, it is available on Spotify and other streaming platforms. All right, time for the big finale, the conclusion. I think we're about to wrap up this competition here, and then I've got one more song for you all, and that'll conclude the stream. But let's bring back up the leaderboards. It's literally anyone's game right now. The only thing that can make this even more amazing is if somebody joins the competition right now, maybe Daniel, you out there, Daniel? If someone joins the competition right now and they manage to get like a 3-way streak, like I think from F tier, you only got to answer 3 questions and you can come back and take the lead. But for everyone, Becky's technically in the lead, but unfortunately,
you've unlocked a perk where everyone under you is worth 2 points. So really, you're all tied for first. Becky, Hobbs, Leo, Silas, it's literally first person to get the next answer is going to take the win for the game. Let's catch up with the chat, and then we will continue with our competition here. Let's see here. Becky was saying, wait, who got it? My cat suddenly ran in, and I had to stop her from jumping on the keyboard. Sorry. Nothing to be sorry for, but I ended up giving the point to both of you. I decided to give it to both of you. I kind of thought that would be more fun anyway, because then it would unlock the perk for really anyone's game right now. So it kind of works out. Yay, I love the beginning part especially. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of people tend to fancy the pick slide that I do at the beginning there. All right. Yep. Thank you. Yeah, Becky with the emojis there. Much appreciated. This is awesome. Thanks, Hobbs. Much appreciated. Here's our highlighted lyric. Resist the pain. I have to keep fighting. Ignite the flame that's deep down inside me. And very much on topic with the last lyric that you highlighted about there's a fire deep down inside me, but it's getting cold. This is kind of saying, you know, it's worth fighting for. It's like it might be a challenge. It's really a song about, the reason it's called Better Myself, or Erase Myself, it's a song about refinement. It's about becoming a better version of yourself. For me, a lot of that was through my relationship with God. And what I've realized in life, there's a lot of things that shape you, and they're not always easy, but you come out the other side stronger, and that's what it's about. So resist the pain. You have to keep fighting and ignite that flame that's deep down inside you. Ignite the flame that's deep down inside me. So again, each of you, you've got a flame in you, and there's going to be challenges. There's going to be things that want to put that flame out, but don't let life do that. Don't let fear do that. You know, keep fighting, keep pushing, keep pursuing, and let that flame grow. Thank you for the fire, Becky. Much appreciated. Thank you for the applause. Brilliant. Thank you, Hobbs. Much appreciated. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Play Daniel's song to summon him. Yeah, I might have to start doing that for these streams. When we start getting like near the end, I might have to say, all right, I'm going to play Let's Start Again, and we'll see if Daniel shows up. So I might have to start doing that for game streams. I'll have to, near the end of the stream, I'll have to start doing that song. Let's see here. We got Indy. Hey, Indy. Indy, you're not too late. I mean, you've got a little bit of stiff competition, but you could still come back and win this thing. So, Indy, I'm going to grab your name and pull you in on this. Here's the situation, Indy. Right now, there's a four-way tie with Becky, Hobbs, Leo, and Silas. If one of them answers this next question, they will take the win. So you're coming in late, but we've seen comebacks happen before. If you can answer 3 questions before any of them answers anything, then you can come back and take the win. So you've still got a fighting chance. You don't have to answer 5 questions. You've got a perk where you get to skip. So you get to skip D tier and you get to skip B tier. And so only 3 questions for you, and you can make a comeback. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, but you can do it. But Indy, let me know how you're doing. Let me know how your week's been. I hope you've had a good week. Anything fun or eventful coming up that you're excited about? Give me a little bit of an update on how things are going with you. Appreciate you tuning in. Classic Quincy Kane. Thank you, Silas. Much appreciated. Let's see here. All right. Well, I think we're going to get going. We're going to see the epic finale of this. Again, courtesy reminder, do make sure that you are live with the stream. If you are behind, if you're delayed, you're going to be at a disadvantage. So do make sure you are caught up with the stream. Make sure your chat is set to live chat. Having a great week. Awesome. Glad to hear that, Indy. Everyone, go ahead and give me a thumbs up or type, let's go, bring it on, I'm ready, something like that. Let me know that you are ready for the finale. Or at least what I think will be the finale, but we might have an unexpected comeback with Indy here. Or if Daniel inevitably shows back up, so he's quite the contender as well. What do we got here? All right, I'm just getting my next backing track set up while I'm ready. Let's go. Thumbs up. Ready from Indy. Thumbs up from Silas. I'm ready from Leo. Ready. All right, everyone's ready to go. Let's go from Becky. Here we go. Let's see what we've got. Let me get the question ready. And I might even tweak it just to make sure it's a good one to finish up on. Okay, I think I got a good one. I'm going to look, because I've got a few questions here. I'm trying to pick one, like if we're going to finish up on something, I want to make sure. Okay. I got two here, and I'm trying to decide which one would be better to go with. Okay. I'm going to give everyone a chance to give an answer. We're going to do this one first and see what happens, okay? So this is a question. Again, this is a challenge where each of you is going to get a chance to submit an answer. So it's not about speed, all right? So you all can kind of like relax a little bit. It's not about speed. But I am going to be choosing my favorite answer, okay? So definitely you're going to give one submission, so be smart with your submission. Kind of think about it. You might have to be a little clever, a little creative. But here we go. So here is the question, and I'm going to pick my favorite answer, which kind of makes it harder. Part of me doesn't want to do this. Part of me wants to leave it up to speed, because if I pick my favorite answer, I mean, it might be Indy, so Indy's got a chance. I'm kind of hoping Indy has a really good answer for this, because if I have to choose from amongst you all, then I'm basically picking the winner. But here we go. I'm going to choose my favorite answer. Here's the question. Where would you take me for vacation? If you and I, if we were going a week on vacation, we were taking some time off, and we were just going to go spend a week somewhere, do something fun, where would you take me for vacation? And you're allowed to have a little bit of detail. If you kind of have sort of some plans of what the vacation would consist of, you're certainly welcome to put a little bit of that. No need to go like overboard, but you can have some fun, some creativity with the answer. If we were going on vacation, where would you take me? Mr. Smith, you're kind of in for the finale. Good to see you. Hope all is well in your world. Just saying hi and editing while I listen. Well, awesome. Well, we'll provide some background. You're certainly welcome to provide an answer if you want. We're just playing the game. We've got a four-way tie here, but Indy just showed up. So if Indy answers, the game might continue. But if someone else gets the answer, then we are going to have a winner in a moment here. So, Mr. Smith, if you'd like to submit an answer for where we would go for vacation, feel free to do so. Hobbs says Australia. Australia would be quite the place. It definitely seems like a place worth visiting and checking out. Lots of fun stuff. Becky's saying Universal Studios. That's a pretty good one, too. I have... now, you might have to clarify. Do you mean the amusement park, Universal Studios, or do you mean the actual Universal Studios lot? I'm assuming you mean the vacation spot. I have been to Universal Studios before. It's definitely a favorite theme park of mine. It's a good one. Because you love movies so much, and so do I. Yep, that's a pretty good reason for it. Oh, here he is, Daniel. Good evening, doing some laundry right now. Daniel, I'm going to drag in on here. We've got a four-way tie, so if Becky, Hobbs, or Leo gets this next point, they will win the game. But you and Indy and Mr. Smith have just showed up, so there's still a chance for a comeback. Right now, you can submit an answer. I'm picking my favorite answer, so everyone gets a chance to submit. The question was, where would you take me for vacation? If we were going to take some time off and go on vacation somewhere, where would we go? And I'm picking my favorite answer. So far, we've got Australia submitted from Hobbs. We've got Universal Studios from Becky. We've got, let's see here, I saw another one. We've got London from Silas. London would be a fun place to go. And yes, the amusement park. That's a good pick. Let's see here. Disney World. Beaches, concerts, rides, food. Yep, definitely lots of fun at Disney World. 70,000 tons of metal. Is that a thing? I don't. Is that a cruise ship you're talking about? 1,000. I'm not sure what tons of metal, or is that a show of something? World's biggest heavy metal. Yeah, I'm looking that up right now. 70,000 tons of metal is an annual heavy metal music festival. Takes place on board a cruise ship. Wow, I didn't know that was a thing. That's actually pretty cool. I'm kind of curious, like, what artists do they have on that? Because that would kind of be the thing to make or break it, is what artists do they have. Not going to lie, that's a pretty good submission right there, Mr. Smith. I'm looking up to see what kind of bands we're looking at here. I can't look into this too long. Man, I don't know. I'm trying to find like a quick spot where I can just kind of see what bands would show up. I don't want to take too long looking that up. Let's see. I don't know. I might have to look into that later. But I didn't know that was a thing. I was like, what is that? And that's pretty cool. Let's see here. Yep, Daniel, I'm always happy to hear what's on the menu for tonight if you're eating anything good right now. From Leo, we got Lake Powell, Utah. Go with me on a big house boat for a week. That could be fun. Beautiful mess of cliffs, lots of fun water sports. That sounds cool. Hiking, multiple families with many nice people to meet, and all the home-cooked food to eat. Definitely, I like the description there. Now, just so you guys know, like what Leo just did, that's a good tactic right there. So if you've already submitted an answer, feel free to elaborate a little more. Rather than just saying, hey, we would go here, feel free to kind of add, almost like a little bit of a brochure to it. Just a brief description kind of like that. You're certainly welcome to do that. Daniel saying, oh, nice. I'll let others play, but we would go to Birmingham to pay our respects to Ozzy at the bridge. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, kind of go to Birmingham to visit, and then to the bridge there to pay some respects. I'm loving the submissions, guys. Good stuff. Koalas surfing and the Australian sense of humor. Yep, that's what we got in Australia. Sounds good. Definitely a place to visit. Yeah, good stuff. Let's see here. Yeah, that made Indy crack up. Great, that's awesome. Leo, I meant to ask you about the trip on the houseboat. Did you have a good time? Yeah, you'll have to let me know how that trip was, Leo. San Diego, that's a good submission as well. Although you did ideally submit one thing. So, Silas, you did say London. Now, if you want to change it to San Diego, that's quite all right. Daniel says, I have finished learning Master of Puppets. I have a vacation coming up, and we'll record it then. Awesome. Definitely looking forward to hearing that. That's going to be a good one. Doing good, thinking about ordering some pizza. Can't go wrong with pizza. I will say this, though. Pizza is great, but if you have too much pizza every night in a row, you definitely need like a break from it. I couldn't eat pizza every single night. One time, I've got a big family, and my parents ordered some pizza, and they ordered extra because they thought more people were going to come, and then some people didn't show up. So we had a lot of leftover pizza, and it was really good. But after about like 3 days of just eating leftover pizza, I was like, okay, I'm all pizzaed out. It's like you can never go wrong with pizza, but it's definitely better if you only have it every now and then, not night after night after night. Got to keep it special. Becky's never been to Universal Studios. Man, you definitely got to go. It's great. I'll share some brief stories with you in a moment here. Good concerts, great weather, great restaurants, awesome people. All right, I'm going to pick an answer. You guys said some good stuff. Let me go back through them real quick. Australia definitely sounds like a good place to visit. You gave a fun, brief description. I think Australia would be a good place to go. Becky, I'm going to be honest. Universal Studios is a really good answer. I'm probably not going to go with yours only because I've been to Universal Studios before. But I will say this. If you've never been, maybe somehow we can get a group going. Maybe all of us, we can all go to Universal Studios together sometime. That'd be a lot of fun if we could do that. But Universal Studios is great. My best friend in high school, we went a few times. I went with his family to Florida, and we would spend some time there. And there were actually 2 parks that we went to. We had like a week pass. And one day we would go to Universal Studios, and then the next day we would go to Islands of Adventure. Islands of Adventure had more of the rides, like roller coasters, stuff like that. So that was really fun. Universal Studios is more like experiences. So yes, they're rides, but they kind of put you in the movies. It's more like an experience. I loved the Jaws ride. I don't think they have it anymore. I think they've discontinued it. But it was fun. It's basically, you're just kind of on a tour. You're on a boat tour. And then there's a boating accident that you stumble upon, and it turns out there's a shark, and they've got this mechanical shark that jumps out of the water at the boat. And so it's just, and there's music playing and stuff, so it just kind of feels like you're in the movie a little bit. That one's a lot of fun. The Jurassic Park water ride, that's a good one. That one's so cool. It kind of feels like you're on a tour of the Jurassic Park, and then you get knocked off track by one of the it's got animatronic dinosaurs. One of them knocks you off track, and you end up going through the raptor department, and then there's a big T-Rex at the end. This mechanical T-Rex, it's so cool. It bites down at you, and then you take a big drop into the water. So if you ever get a chance to go, Universal Studios, a lot of fun. So I would definitely love to go there. But because I've been before, I think I'm going to pick a new experience. Let's see what else we got here. We had London. Silas, London is a good spot. It's probably on my list. There's a few other places in Europe that I would pick before London. I'm not going to share them, but London would be a good place to visit at some point. So good pick. Indy, I liked your pick for Disney World, but I got to be honest, the only concern for me with Disney World is that Disney tends to seem to be a little more show-oriented, like I love rides, and I know Disney World has rides, but it's kind of got so much that it never really excels at something. If you guys want to know, like my favorite thing about amusement parks, I love roller coasters and thrilling rides, and I love experiences. And Disney World, I've never been before, so I could be wrong, but just from what I've seen, it doesn't seem like rides are like the number one thing that it's known for. It seems like lots of shows, lots of obviously references to all the Disney movies and things like that. So I would probably enjoy Disney World, but I can't say that it would be at the top of my list. 70 Tons of Metal, that's very intriguing. I love cruises, and obviously I love metal. It would depend a little bit on the bands, but that's still, like, I'll have to legitimately look into that. I did not know that was a thing. And then Lake Powell. Let me read this description again. So going to Utah, Lake Powell. So big houseboat for the week. The cliffs sound nice. The water sports sound fun. So if it would be like wakeboarding and that kind of thing, that would be pretty cool. Hiking, I do enjoy hiking. Lots of good food. That's quite the contender also, and I appreciate the description. All right, I think I got to pick an answer here. All right, I'm going to be honest. I think this competition is still going to keep going for a little bit. Let me catch up with the chat because I think I know who I'm going to go with. But sorry, I want to catch up with the chat first. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. Yeah, Becky was saying the Jaws ride and the Jurassic Park are legendary. Yeah, absolutely. All right, I'm going to catch up with the chat, but Mr. Smith, I don't even know if you were meaning to compete, but I think I'm going to give you the point. That sounds pretty cool. I already love cruises, and a cruise with like a metal theme sounds pretty good. Now, I'll be honest, I'd have to look into it a little bit more. It might, like, I don't know if the food's any good. Like, that's kind of a big thing too. Like maybe it does have some metal bands, but I don't know if the bands are, favorites of mine. Like if they'd be super good, bands that I would actually enjoy. I don't know if the food's any good. Like maybe, yeah, it's got great bands, but maybe the food is kind of junk or something like that. So I'm kind of giving you the point for concept, I guess I would say. Like conceptually, what you are suggesting sounds really cool and would be a good experience. For what it's worth, you all gave some good suggestions. So again, maybe one of these days we'll be able to have some Quincy Kane audience vacations. Maybe we'll all get to go on some trips together. We'll get to go to Universal Studios, or we'll get to go to Australia, or go on a rent a boathouse for a week or something like that. That'd be a lot of fun. So, but for now, I'm going to give it to Mr. Smith. So competition is still going on. Still a chance for someone else to take the win. But I think it's probably going to end here in a moment. Let me catch up with the chat, and then I will give the next question. Let's see. Where did we leave off? Let me see. And Daniel, you'll have to let me know. You've probably told me like a million times already, and I just always forget. Because you go on a lot of trips. So I know vacation's coming up. This isn't Sweden or Switzerland, is it? Or am I confusing that with another trip? You travel a lot, which is awesome. I love hearing about your trips and stuff, but sometimes I just get them mixed up. See here. Pizza, yep. Becky saying, I've never gotten sick of pizza except that time I was sick. Yeah, pizza's pretty good. You know, like I said, I just after eating a lot, I just needed a little break. I don't think I could ever get sick of it where I'd never want it again. But I do have a story since you mentioned being sick. It's actually really funny. So when I was in the youth group at my church, you know, I was a teenager. One of my best friends was visiting, and it was around Christmas time, and we were having a Christmas party. So I think there was sort of a gift exchange and some games, and it was just some fun time. We had some pizza, and I remember we were eating, and the pizza was good, but I wasn't feeling very well, and I wasn't sure what was wrong, but I just wasn't feeling well. I was kind of there, but you know, had a fun time. I was really glad that my friend was there. It was my friend Anna. She was with me, and my cousin Tyler was there as well. We were all kind of hanging out, and afterwards, I remember the night ended. Or the service ended, the party ended, and she was like, "Are you okay? You don't look like you don't look so well." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I just need some fresh air." So we got outside. And I was kind of walking it off, and it was me, her, and Tyler. And she's like, "Well, hey, I've got a Christmas present for you." And I was like, "Oh, cool. You know, that's so kind of you to have something for me." So we went to her car, and she got the gift and brought it out for me, and it was a shirt. Got me this shirt. Might have gotten me a necklace too, but got me this shirt. Gave it to me, put it in my hands, and I was looking at the shirt, and then I just hurled over and puked and just vomited. I was looking at the shirt, and then I just turned over and just vomited on the ground, just threw up. And I was kind of hunched over and kind of just catching my breath, and I said, "Hey, Tyler." And he said, "Yeah." I was like, "Can you get me a paper towel or something?" He's like, "Sure." And he goes off to get something. And then I said, "Anna?" And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Thanks." It's like, "Thanks for the shirt." But it was the funniest reaction, you know. Unfortunately, I was sick. I think I had a little bit of flu or had caught some kind of bug or something. But right when she gave me the gift, I'm pretty sure that was not the reaction she was hoping for. But I just vomited all over the pavement, and but while I was recovering, I was just like, "Anna, thanks." Thanks for the present. It really was thoughtful for her to get that for me. So that's my story involving pizza and sickness. Leo talking about his boat trip. It was very fun. Unlike last year, I mustered up the courage to go night tubing. Awesome. I'm proud of you for mustering up the courage and doing it. We would stuff glow sticks in our life jackets and helmets and get flung around in the pitch black. It was terrifying. He told me he would go slow. He lied. Now, it was terrifying, but did you enjoy it? Were you glad you did it, or was it still a little too intense for your liking? But I'm proud of you for at least mustering up the courage and stepping out and doing that. So way to go. Wow, Leo, I'm kind of scared of the water. Yeah, Becky, a little scared of the water. Let's see here. Leo say, "I kind of am too, Becky, but it's a man-made lake, so it hasn't been around long enough to grow any lake monsters yet." Yeah, don't have to worry about that. If you could pick 5 bands, what would they be? If you mean for the cruise, yeah. Man, perfect cruise, like if we're just talking 5 bands on a perfect cruise, if that's what you're talking about, 5 bands for the cruise, I'm just going to say off the top of my head right now, if I could go deep with this, but for time's sake, we're going to say Extol, Silosis, Killswitch Engage, Chevelle. I'm trying to think. Man, last one would be hard to pick, and we'll do Flyleaf. You know, if I were to think more, I might pick different, but I'm going to type that. Some of you, I probably should have asked you if you could name what 5 bands I would pick. But, yeah, if I was going on a cruise, I'm going to type them in the chat. And you guys, if you feel like, what would your 5 bands be? If you were going on a cruise and it could be any 5 bands, I'd be curious. What would your 5 bands be? I'm going to type mine just in case you guys are curious. Maybe you haven't heard some of these bands and you want to check them out. Extol, Silosis, Killswitch Engage. What was the other one? Hold on. Extol, Silosis, Killswitch Engage, Chevelle, and Flyleaf. And that's just off the top of my head. Again, if I thought deeper about it, there might be a few that I would swap out, but that's a pretty good lineup for me right there. Let's see here. Wow, nice. Yeah, Mr. Smith maybe wasn't expecting the win, but there you go. You got it. Hey, if you keep it up, you know, 2 more and you can still come back and take the win for the whole thing. That is a great choice, Quincy. Thanks, Hobbs. I would certainly like to go on a heavy metal cruise. Yeah, it sounds fun. I didn't know it was a thing, so I'll have to legitimately look into it. Daniel saying this one is just a relaxing vacation at home. So is it more of a staycation? Which I think staycations are great. I'll mostly be recording and editing. October will be Scotland. That's right. That's where you're going. I don't think there's anything wrong with a staycation. To be honest, I think conceptually it makes sense. Sometimes you don't get a chance just to be home and enjoy what you have, enjoy the movies you have or the video games you have, or just playing music or, you know, playing the instruments that you have at home or whatever you have at home. Sometimes we don't get enough time to just enjoy it. So I'm totally down for staycations. I think that's great. Mr. Smith saying, I would know a lot of bands, Quincy, and apparently the food is good too. Glenn Fricker goes every year and is fussy about his food. That's funny. I know who you're talking about, Glenn Fricker from, what is it? Crap, what's this channel called? Something recording. SMG recording? That's what it is? I know. I used to watch a lot of his videos back when I was first learning kind of how to record stuff. So it actually does not surprise me that he would attend something like that. And then Hobbs saying, yes, I watched Glenn's stream with the cruise. Awesome. I didn't know he did a stream with the cruise. That's kind of cool. I'll have to look that up. Cool. Leo saying, Quincy, I sent you a couple good photos on Discord just to see if they would have swayed your vote. I'll definitely check them out. Maybe they would. I'll stick with my answer for now, but I'll definitely check out those photos later when I get a chance. Becky saying her 5 bands for the cruise would be Breaking Benjamin, Muse, Green Day, My Chemical Romance, and the Ramones, the original lineup. That's a pretty good show right there. That's some good stuff. Especially I like Breaking Benjamin and My Chemical Romance. SMG, that's what it was, SMG recording. For metal, I might say Metallica, Disciple, Haste the Day, Flyleaf, and Spirit Box. Hey, that's you guys are picking some good stuff. Spectre Media Group. Yeah, that's what that stands for. Flyleaf is kind of like alternative metal. So, you know, they kind of get a pass. Some people might call them hard rock or even new metal a little bit. But I think bands like Flyleaf and Chevelle and Breaking Benjamin, they're kind of more like alternative metal. Metal's got a lot of wide ranges. So yeah, even like what you listed there, everyone's kind of a branch of metal. Metallica is maybe more like heavy metal. Haste the Day is a little bit like metalcore. Flyleaf's more like alternative metal. Spirit Box is more like modern metalcore. They also might be known as alternative metal. Even a little bit of progressive metal elements in Spirit Box. For Hobbs, we got AC/DC, Iron Maiden, The Lovely Eggs, The Dead South, and Mumford & Sons. That sounds like a pretty good show at all. Not all metal, I know. Well, a lot of that, I would argue, is more like classic metal. I'm pretty sure, again, metal is it's kind of a vague term. Like, you kind of have to be careful, because when you talk metal, some people might be like, oh, I love metal. And when they say they love metal, they mean like the classic metal bands. They're talking like Black Sabbath and Metallica and Iron Maiden and stuff like that, Judas Priest, like that's what they mean by metal. And then someone else, you know, when I say metal, I probably mean more like what I mentioned, like Killswitch Engage and, well, even Killswitch Engage and Silosis are kind of in different ballparks. Killswitch Engage is more like metalcore, and Silosis is more like thrash, melodic death metal kind of stuff. So metal kind of has a broad range to it. A lot of different branches. Deep fried Mars bars or deep fried Snickers. That sounds good. I'm definitely getting hungry. All right, we got to wrap this up. We're going to see if we can get a winner, and then I've got one more song for you guys. Okay, this next one, we'll see, but because this one's got speed to it. So we might have a winner with this next one. Everyone, give me a thumbs up. Type, let's go, I'm ready. Bring it on. Let me know that you're ready. And also make sure you are caught up with the stream, because again, if you're behind, you will be at a disadvantage. If you're not actually live with the stream, you will be at a disadvantage. This next question, I'm going to ask for a song from an artist. So any song qualifies. There can be multiple answers. So it's about speed. First person to give me a song from this artist will get the point. Mr. Smith saying Maiden, Killswitch, Megadeth, Spirit Box, and Stray from the Path. I might have to check out Stray from the Path. That's one thing I like about talking with you guys. Sometimes y'all bring up like artists or bands or movies that I haven't seen. So I'm not sure I've heard of Stray from the Path, so I'll have to look that up. But I was familiar with the others. That's some good choices right there. Stray from the Path. All right. Cool. Yeah, I'll have to check them out. Stray from the Path. But yeah, some good picks right there. Hobbs is ready. Daniel was saying, when I go, I want to try their culture food. I think Haggis. Is that how you pronounce that? Haggis is popular. That'd be cute. Or Haggis, something like that. Yeah, definitely got to try some kind of culture dish if you're going to go to another country. Leo is ready. Daniel, I could never eat Haggis. So Becky sounds like not a fan, but let me look up what that is. Everyone else, let me know if you're ready. Real quick, I'm going to look up what these Haggis are. It is a food. Eesh, I'm already seeing, oh my gosh. Haggis, Scotland's savory national dish, a pudding made from sheep's heart, liver, and lungs, minced with oatmeal, suet, I don't know what that is, onions, spices, and stock, historically cooked in a sheep's stomach, but now often in an artificial casing. I gotta be honest, doesn't quite sound like my cup of tea either. But Daniel, if you're willing to try that, kudos to you. That's like the kind of thing, maybe if I were with friends, maybe I would take a bite from it, give it a shot, but I gotta be honest, none of that sounds appealing to me. It must taste pretty good. My concern would be like the consistency. Like I'm sure it probably has a good flavor, but sometimes the consistency, the consistency sometimes makes something hard to eat. Hobbs says Haggis is really nice, so we got some people fans of it. Mr. Smith is ready. Can't eat black pudding either. Ew, you may be right, Becky. Yeah, it might have changed Daniel's mind with that. Mr. Smith is a fan as well. I had it for the first time last year. It sounds awful, but it's really good. I was scared. So yeah, that's kind of my impression. Like if people like it, it must be better than it sounds. But my biggest concern, like I bet it actually has a good flavor. My concern would be like the texture or the substance. I feel like I wouldn't enjoy biting into it, but I'm sure it has a good flavor. Leo says, I'm a Polish sausage man myself, so I would definitely try it. Polish sausage isn't the same, is it? It's probably something similar. All right, here we go. I think we're ready. Looking for the name of any song. It could be any song from this artist. So speed, be ready. Have your fingers ready. Here we go. First person to name a song, any song from the band Paramore. First person to name a Paramore song will get the point. So what do we got here? Let's see what we got. Again, there's going to be a little bit of delay before you guys get it. But we'll see here. I don't think Like Blood Sausages is a Paramore song. Becky got it. Hobbs super close with Misery Business, but Becky is the first one with Brick by Boring Brick, and I think that is the win. Hobbs, you would have had the win. That was super close. That was a close one. But Becky is going to get it with Brick by Boring Brick. Congratulations to Becky. Everyone, give your congratulations to Becky. And great matchup, everyone. We had a close one here. Again, Hobbs, Leo, Silas, any of you could have taken the win. Hobbs, you were so close to having it. You were just a little behind. Mr. Smith, you actually made quite the comeback yourself. You still would have needed a couple answers to take the win. And Indy and Daniel, you guys could have come back and taken it as well. So we had a really good matchup here. Let's see here. Daniel was saying, but then again, you can't be scared to try something when going to another country. Worst burger I had was in Switzerland this past April. I think it was horse meat. Eesh, horse meat. That sounds rough. But I think it's definitely worth trying some cultural dishes, though. So I applaud you for at least trying. All I Wanted, that's another good one. Yeah, Leo, super close. Misery Business from Silas as well. Yeah, Becky likes Brick by Boring Brick. It's a favorite. Congrats. Nicely done, Becky. Yeah, awesome job. Well done. Way to go. Congratulations to Becky. Well, guys, awesome job. Great competition. Congratulations to Becky. I've got one more song for you all, and then we are going to put a wrap on this. So let me get this out of the way. One more song for you all, and then we're going to put a wrap on this. But while we're at it, I've got a couple questions for you. So one, if you haven't already answered, let me know. If you were going to go on a cruise with 5 bands, they don't have to be metal bands, but 5 bands, what bands would you choose? Some of you gave some great answers already, but I'd be curious. For those of you who haven't answered, who would be the 5 bands you would want to see on a cruise? Also, let's get some food recommendations. Any cultural dishes that you guys have tried? Any unique foods? What's like the best and worst thing that you've ever tried, from another country or something like that? Let me know. And if you guys have any plans or anything coming up that you're looking forward to, let me know what you guys got coming up. I'm excited for any plans or goals that you're working towards, whatever it might be. Silas has got quite the weekend coming up. He's got some fun stuff coming up. And Daniel, I'm hoping you have a great staycation. You definitely deserve it. So definitely enjoy it. Have some fun recording and editing some music. Hope it works out. This last one, this is a song about perseverance. It's about not giving up. It's worth it, Sometimes it's tough. Sometimes whatever you're working towards, whatever goals you're working towards, whatever dreams you have, it's going to take some effort, but it's worth it in the end. It's better to try something than to never try at all. Trying at least gives you a chance, and you never really fail until you give up and stop trying. As long as you keep trying, you haven't failed yet. You've got another chance and another chance and another opportunity. So this is a song about perseverance, not giving up. This one's called Get Up Again. Hope you enjoy it.
Down on the floor, you've been here many times before. You can't ignore the time in hand is running short. No end in sight, and nothing's going right. Why even try? There's nothing left inside. It always hurts to lose what you wanted, but it feels worse to never have tried it. It's not the first and won't be the last time, so get up again. Still holding on, still pushing through this marathon. Give all you've got. There's not much further left to crawl. No end in sight, and nothing's going right. Why even try? There's nothing left inside. It always hurts to lose what you wanted, but it feels worse to never have tried it. It's not the first and won't be the last time, so get up again. Stand your ground. Get up again. Yet again. Oh.
Thank you. Again, that one's called Get Up Again, and it is available on Spotify, so if you enjoyed the song, you can check it out. You can listen to it again there or wherever else you like to listen to music on streaming. All right, you all. So we had some great competition. Got just a few things to share with you. We're going to catch up with the chat and then put a wrap on all of this. But again, congratulations to Becky, our winner for tonight's game night. So Becky, hey, I think that actually moves you up. Yeah, way to go. So Becky now has 3 wins. So Daniel, I got to be honest, you know, no one has passed you yet, but both Silas and Becky now have 3 wins under their belt as well. So it's been very kind of you, Daniel, to kind of let people have a chance to catch up. But if you want to stay in the lead for the most wins, then you gotta come in a little earlier next time and take the competition. So, but congrats to Becky. Let's catch up with the chat here, and then we will wrap things up. Let's see here. Yep, we had some congratulations. Thanks, y'all. Horse meat is not so bad. Really, I think I've eaten it before. Interesting. I would almost feel a little, I would almost feel a little, I don't know what the word is, feel a little weird about it because my family, like my brothers are cowboys. They have horses. And I've just kind of grown up with horses around me all my life. So I don't think of horses as a food animal. And especially since I've grown up around them, it almost, not that I feel this way about, you know, eating meat or anything like that, but to me, it almost feels wrong to eat a horse. You know, it's like, I don't know. Then again, I'm around cows too. And, you know, I eat beef and that kind of thing. So, but for some reason, horses seem a little different to me. Mr. Smith was saying, my brain immediately went blank on that question. Yeah, it happens. Yeah, sometimes when you're like, name a song, it's like there's like 100, you know, hundreds of songs by a certain artist, but the moment you need to remember one, it doesn't want to come to your brain. So that's kind of the fun part of those kind of challenges. Has anybody tried live octopus or dancing shrimp? It's a thing in Asia. I know about the whole octopus thing. Yep. I went to an Asian restaurant a couple years ago, and they had like these little octopuses. They're kind of cute, but I got a picture with one, but I could not muster up the courage to bite into it. I don't know if courage is the right word. I couldn't muster up the stomach to bite into it. So again, it's the texture. Like, I don't know, maybe they taste good, but it just seems like it would have like a very rubbery kind of texture. I don't know. Doesn't seem like my cup of tea. Again, I would really have to be with like the right group of friends to like motivate me to go through with something like that. You know, the best British food: battered and deep fried fish and chips. That sounds good. I know. I think over in Britain, in England, that area, fish and chips sound like quite the combination. And to be honest, that sounds quite good. Thick cut fries. Gotcha. And mushy peas and with lemon juice and tartar sauce for the fish. I love some tartar sauce with fish. That sounds quite good. Hobbs says, I don't know if I actually ate some, though. I don't eat a lot of meat, so hopefully I avoided it. Great riff. Thanks, Mr. Smith. Much appreciated. And Hobbs agreeing 100%. Best chocolate I had was one of those coated orange peels with the hazelnut on top in Geneva. That sounds good. Yeah. Chocolate and fruit can be like a really interesting combination sometimes. I'm drawing a blank. I can't remember the name of the brand, but there's some kind of chocolate. They make these like blueberry covered chocolates or chocolate covered blueberry things, but it's not, I don't know how they make it. It's not like a straight up blueberry and you just cover it in chocolate. There's a little more to it than that, but that's like one of my favorite chocolate desserts or chocolate snacks. Hobbs, I stocked up on beef burgers because they were so cheap because nobody wanted to buy them. That's kind of interesting. Yeah. Daniel saying, I've had octopus, but it was already dead. Yeah, I know some people, I think, eat it living, alive. Not sure what the appeal is. Hobbs saying, your voice puts me in mind of the singer in Placebo. Great sound. Well, thank you. I much appreciate it. I'll have to look up Placebo and see that. Every now and then, someone will kind of say, hey, your voice kind of reminds me of so-and-so. And sometimes it's artists that I've heard of, and then sometimes it's artists that I haven't, and it's kind of neat. And so it's kind of fun sometimes to look up and see if I can recognize what someone else is hearing. I'd be curious to kind of check them out, Placebo, and kind of see if I can recognize what the similarity might be. Let's see here. Becky says, I never eat seafood. I don't like anything fishy. I'm quite all right with seafood. Not octopus, not octopus or squid, but I like fish. I like a lot of different kinds of fish. I love shrimp, lobster, crab meat. That's my jam right there. So yeah, I'm quite the seafood guy. Placebo, great band. Yep. Mr. Smith backing that up. Leo saying seafood is a number one fave kind of food for him. Yeah. I don't know if it'd be my favorite, but I definitely love seafood. Seafood, Asian, Mexican's really good. It's probably a bunch. I'm making myself hungry. I got to go get me some dinner. All right, let's see here. Yeah, Becky saying, wish somebody had come into the church while Quincy was playing this song. Yeah, that's what I'm always worried about. It's like playing a song like that, and then somebody walks in while I'm at the breakdown. I've had that happen before where I get to the breakdown and I just had to play it instrumental. I couldn't do the growls or the vocals because someone was in the building. Fire. Thank you, Leo. Much appreciated. Daniel saying, I love grilled shrimp. I had frog legs the other day too. What'd you think? I don't think I've ever had frog legs. I know it's a thing. I think I could try, if they're fried, fried frog legs, I think I could try them. I'm not going to say I can't say I'm confident that I would enjoy it, but I'd be down for trying it. I like grilled shrimp as well, though. It makes me laugh, the growl, and then the Southern gentlemanly. Thank you. yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Quite the contrast. Yeah, going from something heavy and then just a very polite. It's just kind of stuck with me. I don't really know where it came from, but that's just kind of how I like to end songs. I had a bunny rabbit when I was a kid. My dad ate rabbit meat. I'm pretty sure I've had rabbit before. I think one of my brothers or one of my friends, went hunting, and we were in the survival mode of we hunted it and then we cooked it up. So I'm pretty sure I've had rabbit. It's not too bad. It's not like something I eat regularly, so I'm not going to say I love it, but I'm pretty sure I've had rabbit before and it wasn't too bad. I feel it's wrong to eat pigs, but I'm not going to stop doing it. What's interesting? I'm not the biggest fan of most meat that comes from pigs. I don't mind bacon, but I'm very picky. I don't like much fat on bacon. It's got to be the crispy meat part. If it's like the gooey's not the right word, but the chewy, fatty part of bacon, I don't enjoy that as much. So I like bacon, but I'm very picky about it. Not a big fan of pork or pork chops. I'm trying to think. I feel like there's something else. Pulled pork is okay. So there's some meat from pigs, but there's a lot that I don't particularly care for that comes from pigs. It's not my favorite kind of meat. Rubbery, yeah. Let's see here. They literally just taste like chicken. Not sure. We've been talking about a lot of meat, so not sure which one you're talking about. Maybe frog legs. Maybe that's what it was. The only place I've had frog legs was at an all-you-can-eat Chinese restaurant. Gotcha. I don't like much pork. It's been years since I've had pork chops. Yeah, I've never been much of a pork fan myself. I'm also picky about bacon, but I love most all other pork. Cool. Well, you guys are making me hungry. Few last things to share with you. One, guys, thank you so much. I hope you all enjoyed the stream. If you'd like to support my music so I can keep making more music, bringing you guys more music, there's a link right there. It's also pinned at the top. You can get yourself a piece of merch. You can leave a tip. You can download my music for free, or you can purchase my music if you want to show a little bit of support. I do appreciate that. And if you want to stay up to date, if you just want to be notified, again, I'm working on my next song. I'm working on a song right now called pull the trigger. I began the next 8-week cycle, so it should be released sometime in early October. And I'm very excited about it. Definitely, I'm hoping to actually have a demo made at some point so I can perform it for you guys even before I release it. I would love to do that. But I am currently working on my next song. So if you want to stay up to date whenever I release my new song, my next song, whenever I do these streams, be sure to sign up for my email list. Again, you can find that at the bottom. Wasn't expecting to stay in the chat, but it was fun. Thanks, Quincy, and all in the chat. Well, Mr. Smith, appreciate you tuning in. And that's going to be it. So, guys, I appreciate your support. Appreciate you hanging out. I hope you all had fun. Get yourself a little bite to eat. If I know I'm really hungry, I'm going to get me some dinner. So, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful evening, morning, afternoon, night, whatever time it is, wherever you're on the world. Until next time.